Welcome back. Now, our next guest is a globe-trotting billionaire who's crossed the world in a hot air balloon, travelled into space and even lives on his own private island.
Not James Bond. It is, of course, the one and only Sir Richard Branson. He's real. Our one's real. Lovely to see you this morning.
Lovely to see you
Thank
both.
you for coming in. You are releasing your audiobook, your memoirs. You've sort of combined them and gone back over them and re-recorded them. I wonder what it was like going back over those stories. Were there things in them that you'd forgotten?
Yeah, there were lots of things. I mean, we set up a makeshift studio with mattresses and under my house on Necker Island, and we couldn't have the air conditioning on, so I was sitting there in my underwear,
Boiling hot.
going back over 70 years and dripping. But, you know, I think all of us should write a book. It doesn't matter who you are. Everybody's got a fascinating life. Life is fascinating. And so I was reading it for my kids and for my grandkids, and then maybe then for their kids and grandkids. And you know, sometimes I sort of said, as I came to certain chapters, this guy must have been off his head for sort of trying to kill himself yet again in another hot air balloon crossing or whatever. But it did make for, I think, an exciting life, exciting stories, and you know, and I've just been lucky to have had one hell of an adventure.
But I think that's what makes your story so exciting, is the fact that you don't mind, you don't seem to mind failure. You seem to just go for it. If you believe in something and you truly want to do it and you have the passion, you go for it, and you kind of don't let those voices in your head tell you, but what about this, or what about that, and what if it doesn't work?
No, my favourite words is "screw it, let's do it," and so, you know, people will you know, come with some outrageous idea to I don't know, take on British Airways or
fly
you
to
know,
space,
transform the trains company's industry, or you know, create a cruise company that is unlike any cruise company that's ever been, you know, tried before. And my attitude is, yeah, you know, screw it, let's try it, and if we fall flat on our face, we'll move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have fallen flat on our face, and sometimes it's worked out. So, but we've had one, you know, hell of a lot of fun. You know, just trying and learning all the time, just learning about new things.
Yeah.
You know, and when I was, you know, very young, my mum would, you know, always wanted us to stand on our own 2 feet. She would, you know, push me out of the car aged 5 and told me to make my own way to Granny's house, and I got lost on the way, and she got in a complete panic. But, you know, she'd managed to, you know, it was her way of saying, right, you know, you can do it. You don't.
I mean, these days that would be frowned upon.
She'd be arrested today, and I'm not recommending it to any mums out there.
I think, as Kat says, and I think one of the things you've embraced is failure is such an important part of learning, and you've had so much success. But I wonder if you can share some of the things that didn't work and what that taught you. I've had lots of things that, I mean, we took on Coca-Cola and with Virgin Cola.
Oh, yeah, forgotten about that.
And for 2 years, you know, we were out selling Coke in Tesco's and other places, and then we made the mistake of going to Times Square in a British Sherman tank and crushing a whole lot of Coke and Pepsi cans, as you do, and they got on a big DC-10 at Atlanta, and they flew it to England full of squat teams and money, and suddenly just Virgin Cola disappeared from, you know, all Tesco's shelves and other people's shelves, and you know, nobody could get Virgin Cola anymore. So they basically.
And was that do you think that was that big publicity stunt that you tried, sort of riled those big multinationals up, and they thought, right, we're going to put this guy back in his place?
And the you know, British Airways did the same to us with Virgin Atlantic.
Yes.
But they launched what was called the Dirty Tricks campaign, but because Virgin Atlantic was a better airline than British Airways, and because we managed to take them to court and, you know, prove extreme
Tactics.
methods they were using and win quite a famous case. We survived, but with two cans of Coke, we couldn't have been that much better, whereas with Virgin Atlantic, we were palpably better than them.
And that's one of the things that you always do, is you always do travel by Virgin. You travel on the planes, you travel on the ships, you do that so that you can constantly push the envelope.
Yeah, I mean, it's important, if you run a company, you've got to. I mean, I flew in on Virgin Atlantic this morning. I get out, met all the passengers, met the staff, have a notebook on board, write, take notes, little suggestions and ideas. And
do they all get nervous when you come on? Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
The most common question I get asked was, are you on every flight? but there was one girl who was brand new, first time as a stewardess on Virgin, and so it's lovely to be able to welcome somebody on board.
Yeah.
We're going to finish with a few quick-fire questions for our billionaire on the sofa, if we may. Things that our production team are thinking, what would you ask a billionaire if you could? All things that everyday people think about all the time, and they wonder whether you would as well, Richard. If we can start with these. First question, do you do your own food shopping?
Nope.
There you go.
I have a wonderful wife.
OK.
Do you ever check your own bank balance?
Nope.
No, don't have to do that. What does someone buy you as a...
Which would be, I'm always borrowing money to do the next project, so there wouldn't be any money in it. And I'm not officially a billionaire anyway. But...
Not officially. Let's not get in the way. What does someone buy you as a present? What are the best presents you get?
Obviously, love. I mean, just time with being surprised with the grandkids turning up, or...
Yeah, same as anybody else.
Yeah.
Do you ever cook, and what's your signature dish?
I can now use the microwave.
The microwave.
Anything that warms up in a microwave.
Nice. Have you ever thought that's too expensive?
Oh yes, all the time.
What was the last thing that you thought was too expensive?
I don't like sort of wasting money on, on expensive things.
So you don't waste money. You're quite frugal when it comes to the things.
Yeah,
that you need.
I'll turn off lights, and I'm frugal. I mean, I started with nothing, and I appreciate having created some things, but I never created them for the money. I still
and that's the drive.
The ideas.
I just love creating. And,
yeah, absolutely.
One of the worst words I hate is the word billionaire, because I think you are what you are. You create things. What you're worth is not how you should be labelled, in my opinion. And I just see money as a way to be able to create new things, create new jobs, create things you can be proud of.
And you've done a lot of those things, as you will find out if you listen to the books. They are really gripping. Richard, lovely to see you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And well done with what you've created here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.